Hello, everybody. My name is Paul. Um, Today is Saturday, August the 16th, and I'm making this video uh, in light of the rapture, a lot of rapture talk that I've been hearing about on social media recently. Um, on YouTube, Facebook, um, there's been a lot of talk about the rapture supposedly is going to happen in September of 2025. So I had a little experience uh, about that. So I'm here to tell you what I experienced. Um, so I'm a construction worker. I am a superintendent, and we have contractors, that do work in a certain, in this building that we're working on. Now we're getting ready to do work in a certain office. The secretary is currently occupying it. So I needed to tell her that we're going to do this work on these certain dates. I need to get her to move out, let us come in, do the work, and then I was going to give her, an idea or an estimate on when she can move back into her office. We're at work on Monday, August 11th, earlier this week, and what I did was to make this schedule that I need to tell her about. I brought in two contractors basically that are going to be doing the majority of that work in there. So I brought in the first guy. I bring them both in, but I start speaking to the first guy, and I said, "All right, man, we need you to start on this date." It was going to be Monday, August 18th. We need you to start August 18th, and you're going to do such and such. How many days do you think you need? Oh, well, I need so many days. Okay, so I wrote it on this calendar here, which this is not the actual calendar, but it's exactly one that looks like it. Okay, and I had another calendar over here, which, I was going to do on the first calendar, I was going to do kind of like a rough draft, right, as I'm taking notes from the guys. And then on the second calendar, I was going to clean it up and give, write the schedule on this calendar, on a, cleaner calendar. So anyways, I asked the guys, and we're going down the days, and okay, it's going to take you this many days to do this. All right, and then you're going to come in next, contractor number 2, let's call him, and it's going to take you how long? Oh, he said it's going to take so and so. Okay, so then I would mark this first calendar with how many days. Okay, and then when you're done, we're going to do this, and then yes, and then it's going to take this long. So I was just writing down the days. All right, so how long do you think it'll take to do this? And then we were just kind of going like that, going day by day, writing, kind of getting a good idea on how long it's going to take to do this work. All right, and you're going to do an inspection on this date. And when we pass inspection, we're going to do this other thing. And then, so I kind of got it down all the way from August 18th, and we were going to get done around September the 6th, I believe. Well, we were going to get done on Friday, September 5th. She can move in on Monday, September 8th. So it's going to take us about 3 weeks, we finally figured out. So we finished the schedule, the rough draft, and take off, and we go back to they go back to their work. I go walk the job and stuff, and around 12 noon, it was lunchtime. So I start to have lunch, right? I'm in my office and eating lunch. And while I was eating lunch, I started looking at some videos on Facebook, actually. I like to look at, videos about godliness or preaching and, godly things. But I run across this video. And this video is talking about the rapture. I remember seeing the title that said something about the rapture 2025. So that caught my eye because I never heard nobody actually give a date about the rapture. I've always heard about the rapture, but never seen a date. And the video is the one I'm playing here. And that video is called Feast of Trumpets 2025. Is the rapture imminent? And so when I saw that title, I said, let me see what this is about. Rapture in 2025, that kind of just And wow, really? Somebody's actually got a date? They're gonna put a year on it? So it was interesting to me, and I started watching it, and it started talking. It's about, you go look at the video again. It's called Feast of Trumpets 2025. Is the rapture imminent? So I watched the video. It's probably like a 10-minute video, and I was surprised that the video talks about a certain pastor named Pastor Joshua out of South Africa. And supposedly that Jesus came to this pastor and gave him, appeared to him, not a vision, not a dream. He actually appeared to him, he says, and said that he was going to come for the church. He was going to rapture the church, or he called it an exodus, or Jesus called it an exodus of the church on September 23rd and September 24th. He was going to come for his church. So that kind of like, wow, blew me away that they would actually give a date. But anyways, I'm looking at this video just out of curiosity and just wanting to see what their reasoning was for. So a lot of stuff that it says on that video, it kind of made sense. And actually when the video was done, it did, it got my attention in that, like, man, if this is true, I need to, I need to clean some stuff up. Like, I need to pray more. I need to get with my kids more, and I need to tell them to pray more. And it actually, caused me to sit up and want to be closer to the Lord. And so I, after that video, I went and locked the door to my office. And I went to a corner of my office, and I just got on my knees, on my hands and knees, and I put my face into the ground, and I started praying. And I just started praying, Lord, if there's any hidden sin in me, cleanse me. If I have any anger or hate towards any man or woman, I tell you now, Lord, I have no problems with nobody. Like, I don't have any unforgiveness or any bitterness on any man and woman. I just started praying and telling God, to cleanse me and wash me, and to, revive me and get me back to walking closer with him, and that kind of thing. So my prayer must have lasted about 5 to 10 minutes. I get up and I go back out into the field to go check on the work and the progress, and check on the contractors, see how they're coming along, because they were working in a certain other area. And so now it's time for me to go talk to the lady that I need to go tell her, the schedule that we made a few minutes earlier, or a couple of hours earlier by this time. And so, but I meant to say that when I saw that video too, I sent it to my family, to my children. We got a little group chat. And so I texted that video to my family's group chat, and it was 12:17 when I sent them that video. It was 12:17 p.m. during my lunch break. So anyways, I did the prayer, and then I go walk the job, and I came back to my office, and now I said, okay, now I need to go talk to the lady and go tell her this schedule, right? So on this other calendar that I have here, I started to write, move back. That's where I was going to write move back, to tell her when she's going to move out and when she can move back, which would have been on September the 8th, right? So I grabbed the calendar, and it had actually flipped to August somehow. And as I'm walking, I'm walking with the calendar kind of like this, and I noticed it was on August, and I needed to tell her, point to August. I was going to point to September the 8th. And as I did, I saw some writing on the bottom of the calendar on September, and I thought I saw rapture, but by this time I'm walking, I'm at her office, and she walks up. And I wanted to see what that said when I thought I saw rapture. And so anyways, I get to her, but I want to see what this calendar says. But now I'm talking to her, she's in my face, And so I had to explain to her, okay, well, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna get in on this date, and we're gonna be done by this date. You have to move out on this date, and you can move back in on this other date. And finally, I was done, and I just wanted to get back to my office to see what I saw. And I finally got to the office. I locked the door, put my glasses on, and I came to this calendar. And zoom in here. And this is what I saw on the calendar. It says Rapture of the Church, September 23rd and September 24th. Jesus is coming. Now that's not my handwriting. I don't know who wrote that. And that blew me away. Like I was confused. I was like in a daze. Like what am I seeing here? And next to it over here on the 21st, there's another writing that's not my writing either. And it says, when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction will cometh upon them. And they even circled peace day. Now, I didn't do this. This is my calendar. This is my writing right here, right? And when I wrote that, I didn't see this. So that just floored me, like confused me. Like, wait, I just saw this video at 12 o'clock. And here it is. This was now about like 2:45 when I noticed that this thing had been written. I just saw this video talking about the rapture supposedly happening on September 23rd and 24th, based off of Pastor Joshua from South Africa, and this video that I just told you about. And then I come and see this on my calendar. I don't know who wrote it. One of the contractors wouldn't have done it. I mean, it's my office, so I usually lock it when I go out. I don't know if it was, man or an angel, but I know somebody wrote it. I lean towards an angel, maybe two angels, because the two handwritings are different. They're beautiful handwritings. Zoom in again. Beautiful handwritings. Zoom in on the church and on Jesus is coming, and then zoom in on the other one. So I don't know who wrote it. I just know this, that for some reason God caused me to look at that video during my lunch break, and not 3 hours later I find this on my calendar. Wasn't me. I don't know who wrote it, but somebody did. And that just tells me that God's trying to tell me something. I don't know if the rapture is going to happen on 23rd, 24th, but it shook me to my core in that we need to get ourselves together. We need to get our house in order. We need to get our lives right. We need to straighten up. We need to get more in prayer, in the Word. We need to pray more. We need to get the families together. We need to bring those that are lost, that are out there wandering, lost, and all our children and our families, and say, hey, we need to get ready because Jesus is coming back. He's coming back very soon. I hope that I explained it pretty good, but that's what I wanted to tell y'all, that this is the experience that just happened to me this week. Thank you.